Hi guys, it's your girl B Dunn, also known as the Healthy Hoe, here to bring you some health news today. So, in the news today, or yesterday, guess what? Monsanto is still killing people. Oh my god, big shock, right? So, have you guys seen any of these commercials where the lawyer is talking about how Roundup Ready is causing cancer? Well, guess what? People are finally suing for it. That's so awesome. Now, when I first saw this commercial, my first thought was, really? Okay. So, Monsanto was also recently purchased by Bayer. Oops. Yeah, Bayer seems like they've made a really big mistake with this one. And it also just goes to show the corruption with all these corporations and how much of a fuck they do not give about you. This pharmaceutical company, Bayer, purchases a poison company. Let that sink in. So far there have been like 3 really big cases with some real serious amounts of damages awarded. Now, the largest so far goes to Alva and Alberta Pilliod of Oakland, California. This couple has received a little over $2 billion from Monsanto Bayer, and because they were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now, Mr. Pilliod was age 76, and he was diagnosed in 2011. His wife, who was 74, was diagnosed 4 years later in 2015. It's a victory because, and it's also sad, because Mrs. Pilliod's medication costs $21,000 per month. And I mentioned this to give you a perspective of how much money these companies are making off of our illnesses. Now, this settlement is the 8th highest award ever awarded in the United States court. And one piece of evidence that came out that helped them win this case was how the Monsanto's commercials for Roundup Ready, they never showed the protective gear worn on the actors of the commercials. Now, according to Monsanto's documents, their employees are instructed to, or really mandated to, wear long sleeves, long pants, protective gear when handling these chemicals. In the commercials, everybody's wearing shorts like it's nothing. So the Pillions, like everyone else, they just, spray this and shit and keep going. They were wearing shorts and flip-flops for like 30 years every day. Well, can't do that. So they were saying that their commercials are misleading. Now, the first case for this was a school groundskeeper by the name of Dwayne Johnson of San Francisco. So he was awarded $250 million in punitive damages and about $39 million in compensatory damages, for a total of $289 million. Now, punitive damages are designed to punish a company, and they're pretty hard to get. Now, for what I'm hearing, this amount had been decreased, or they were trying to decrease it. But I'm not really too sure if they actually have made the final decision. They're going to only give him like $80 million. Now, this man was actually basically dying in a hospital, and he got an expedited trial. Now, his legal team didn't have the time to really dig and prepare more appropriately like they did for the Pillions, because this dude was like really on his deathbed. But he did get a victory, so that's good. And guess what? He also had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now, what is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma? It's a group of cancers that develop in the lymphocytes or white blood cells. So it's basically blood cancer. Now, of course, Bayer Monsanto, the devil, they are trying to appeal these verdicts, and they're still saying that the glyphosates are safe, even though people are dropping dead from their products. But this just goes to show how little of a fuck these companies give about our health. And I keep trying to tell you guys, you keep wanting to trust these letter organizations of the government and these pharmaceutical companies and any of these big corporations that are in business thinking that they care about us. They are profit driven. Okay, the sicker people are, the more money they make. Think about it. This pharmaceutical company who makes medication bought a poison company that makes people sick. Kind of goes hand in hand, don't you think? And I've mentioned Monsanto before. Like, these people make poisons. Oh, another thing. They also make Roundup ready crops. And they started doing this in the 90s, like 96 or so. So what they do is they genetically engineer the DNA to seeds so that when you spray Roundup ready on the crop does not die. Everything dies around the crop but the crop. Think about that shit, and we're eating it. Corn, cotton, alfalfa, soybeans. I think that's about it. But yeah, I mean, you're basically eating chemicals and genetically modified God knows what. So these crops are genetically modified, like I said. And also I was told that the corn was blue. Now when I heard this, I thought it was blue like Indian corn. It looks spray painted on. Like, it is insane. And about 90% of our corn is genetically modified. And these studies that were done, funded by guess who? The studies say that, oh, GMOs are safe and we can eat them and no one's going to die. So they studied this for 3 months. Now, in France, the scientists did the study for 4 months. They fed the rats genetically modified food for 4 months. And then they started developing tumors. Maybe because the French mice are softer than American mice. Now, the World Health Organization has actually come out and said that glyphosates cause cancer. Now, if you go around looking for anyone actually stating their opinion about glyphosates, is going to vary. Because these companies are funding the research. So, of course, the researchers are going to come out with findings that are favorable to the company and tragic to us. But yeah, Monsanto is still insinuating, they're still blatantly stating that glyphosates are safe. I mean, I don't know how to get people to wake up. Like, people really trust these government agencies, the FDA, EPA, everybody else, to basically keep them safe. These people do not give a fuck about you, okay? And all these people in these agencies, they're being bought off by the fucking companies. Wake the fuck up, people. No one gives a shit about you. Do you remember when this lady came out and said that pizza was considered a vegetable? Now, if you watch the video of her saying this stupid shit, she was saying this shit with conviction. Like, she just knew the sky was blue and the sun is hot and it is there and the sun is never going anywhere. That's how she talked about this shit. Maybe because she was being paid off. Because she does not give a shit about our kids. And she wants money from these corporations. So she's going to say whatever the fuck they want her to say. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm putting some of these links into these video descriptions. So if you don't believe me, look this shit up yourself. I'm trying to help you guys. Help me help you. And remember, everybody loves a hoe.